laptops over here? Oh, is this okay?
You're responsible, or you chair the most recently so you want to say a few words about that?
Okay, so I founded Families for Autism. Older than some of you here at the table. I'm gonna say that, and all you're gonna say, yeah. Okay. Working with the autism community all this time, and it's just so I want to do that. I'm ready for it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Okay, the next items that we have on the agenda. Marisa Alicia Ballesteros and Janet Vega, graduating from the Texas Council for Development.
It is a great honor to stand before you today and recognize and celebrate two exceptional individuals who have completed Texas Partners in Policymaking Program. A 12-month commitment, Marisa Ballesteros and Janet Vega have been advanced leadership and advocacy training program. They have engaged in thought-provoking presentation, enriching assignments, and in-depth conversations on disability rights, issues, and legislation. Federal levels and take on this leadership roles in their communities. Their accomplishment is not only a testament to their hard work and passion and developmental disabilities. By completing this program, they have demonstrated their commitment to making a difference in the lives of to thrive in our community. As we celebrate their achievement today, we also recognize the importance of their continued advocacy, their dedication to promoting disability rights, and inclusive environment for people with IDD. We are proud of their accomplishments and are confident that they will continue to be a true advocate for those who need it the most. Once again, congratulations to Ms. Marisa and we look forward to witnessing the positive impact your advocacy and
So I have a so lo que dice.
Bueno, leí lo que pero vayan separando para allá. Ándale. Oh, yes, I know, but you know what? We'll wait for you to read that, sir.
Okay. So okay. This is on behalf of the City of Laredo and Health Department, and recognizing Janet Vega. This certificate is for developmental disabilities. We appreciate your dedication and contributions. So who's Janet? You're Janet. So
Thank you. We're taking a picture.
I'll be honest.
Again, from the City of Health Department, and recognizing Marisa Eva. Program. And contributions, and signed by Dana Castillo as Chair of the Blue Ribbon Committee and Richard Chamberlain as the Health Director, so congratulations.
I'll swap since it's a tight knit
She's
group.
supported us a lot for.
Yes. Important, yes.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll take a couple of them. There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, so we have another recognition. Celia, are you there? No.
Miss Ceci?
We over.
Regardless of it, Cecilia is being recognized for completing the Project Leadership Challenge, an initiative led by the Texas Tech University, Virginia Ray Sowell Center for Research and Education in Sensory Disabilities. So, real go.
The background to regarding that program, I don't have it as eloquently put as the policy making, but this is a collaboration with Texas Tech where organizations apply. It's a total of, I believe, four or five groups that are selected every year, and they're in teams of 4, and there has to be a commitment by the CEO or director of that organization to participate so that they get this leadership training on how to be more inclusive and be an advocate for people with disabilities. They are also assigned a project. So I believe they meet in November, and then they have the course of about 4 or 5 months to complete a project, and she was just presented her work and was recognized by Texas Tech. She did share that article with us, and we did want to recognize all the efforts and the great work that they're doing.
Just to share, I was able to jump on for a little bit when they presented, and they did an amazing presentation, and really congratulations, and what a way to represent Laredo, because that was really, really good. Thank you.
We owe her the certificate. We'll get it to her soon.
Next is we have a report from Christine.
Yes, we're going to go ahead and start with Ms. Iris Mendez for the Nation Grant for addressing individual. My name is Iris. Her program deals with children and young adults with special needs, and an extension of that is emergency preparedness. So that is my role here. One of the things I have been working on is what is called an emergency operations plan. And that we have for the whole city, and it describes the roles and details and lists the responsibilities for different departments and agencies such as the fire department, EMS services, the health department, and other stakeholders through the life cycle of a crisis. So an emergency crisis such as floods, extreme heat, flooding, well I said flooding, heavy rain, thunderstorms, and things like that. So my role as far as NATIO is they appointed what are called disability specialists, and disability of people with populations such as people who have limited English proficiency, limited transportation, limited financial resources, pregnant women, children, of course our population, people with disabilities, people with chronic healthcare needs, and the elderly. As far as looking at the EOP plan, one of the ones that I have been looking at and studying is the fire department's plan. And I'm kind of helping them out with updating it so that it caters to our needs in those specific cases. So we've been in contact with Deputy Chief Mendiola, which is in charge of the EMS, and the emergency operations, which is Mr. Christopher Niles. I just want to stress the importance of emergency preparedness as far as how it relates to people with special needs. One example that I can give is that things like music festivals kind of give like a biopsy as to how these different entities such as the EMS, the fire department, the sanitation kind of work. So that's kind of been my experience with that. So I would like to share with you an instance where I've had my my scooter run out of battery. So I was in a position where I was between the EMS and the police, and I had to wait for help from the police, and they did not approach me at all. So I depended on the kind of like the citizens, the patrons that were passing by to push me to the EMS tent to help me. So when I got to the EMS tent, what they had said is that thing like that, they were kind of enclosed in what they could do. So I had to depend again on people to kind of like leverage me to the next point of contact, which would have been like some type of cart or service that could have helped me out with that. So when I did do that, what had happened is that that person said that the only people that could help me out were the people from the ADA, and they were on far reach of the position where I was in. And what I did is that a Good Samaritan came up to me and said, like, stress that like it's important to kind of have those agencies and connection services kind of communicate with each other to stress that importance. So I just wanted to share that personal experience. So for my goal, as far as across all agencies are updated again to service our needs, but to also teach the disability community that you know, there's going to be tough situations where people are not going to be able to help you, so you need to learn. So that is what I'm currently working on. This upcoming week in Atlanta, where we want to kind of share like all our insights and all our advice to these EOP plans. So we're working hard.
And just for health officials, routinely they do provide funding to support specific programs. We did identify and we did communicate to the committee and therefore got awarded. So that's why we have Miss Iris here now. So very excited in the short time that we've been part of this project. We've done great work, and what's great is the collaborative nature of, you know, at the health department, and you know, the willingness to be open-minded of, okay, let's consider all these factors. And it is a two-pronged approach where for growth within those agencies, but also that, you know, that demographic or those families that may be affected, to know their options and the resources. So
I'll continue with my report.
Yes.
From
Reading and Beyond Project Pilot Test Event. Just here to report today that it was a very successful pilot test event. We scheduled 50 children from the ages 0 to 5 years of age. Their appointments, and they were screened. Out of those 38 children, 2 were identified with low to high risk for autism, and 7. The goal with this event, again, just like what we had mentioned in previous meetings, the inspiration of what the multi-assistant complex is doing in San Antonio, our vision was to do that here. Of course, we don't have that building, so and bringing the resources all in one spot for these families. So a lot of these families to early intervention and provided the resources. Everything from OT, PT, occupational speech, if they were 0 to 3, and then child find for these school districts. Holistic avenues for health for these children when it includes nutrition and Empower Play with organizations that we partnered with. Partners in this with the University of Texas, the Texas Disability Center for the Neurodevelopment Division. They happy to see this first pilot test event to learn more about it and then continue to collaborate with us on a semester base so that students and clinicians can come down so that they can continue. Going back to the potential development issues that we have right now, we're still seeing delay to help school districts autism to have that early intervention and have a smooth transition into the next. And then continue coordinating and planning and collaborating with partners to make it grow. The webinars offered in the month of March, we did have our How Sensory Issues Affect Children in School, the educational options after high school for special needs families, healthy families staying active, and children's webinars. We had 230 families attend together within the number of total of webinars that we had in the month of March. For the workshops and events that we have hosting here for April for autism awareness, we just had our water safety presentation that includes in-water and safety instruction with the aquatics division. And we also had a pool day for autism. It's been a
lot of events.
It's been a long week over Wednesday. And we're on Friday, we're collaborating with Dr. Mireles for the ABA, BCBA, for ABA strategies and methods to help with transitioning from home to school for children with autism. And we're including a nutrition our mental health programs. Our goal, again, for the caregiver is we want them to be healthy, to give healthy caregiving. We want to make sure that their needs are addressed as well so that their caregiving can be a positive and a healthy outlet. On Friday to attend that event. We, on that forum of the event, recommendations of what more they would like to learn, and so we're taking that into consideration for future presentations. And then we're also looking to continuously have this on a quarterly basis because the need is there. We saw the event sold out within the first week, and we doctors like Dr. Mireles and other organizations to help fill in those presentation gaps so that we can have that for additional families. Our program is currently at 848 clients as of the beginning of the third quarter, which serves at 990.
You did all within 10 minutes.
We're getting better, we're getting better. Good job.
You are laughing, but
We're like quorum, oh no, we have quorum, we can't vote.
thank you, Christine Harris.
Thank you.
Item 7, we have a presentation from the Alzheimer's Research from the Alzheimer's Association in San Antonio and South Texas chapter. So we and then we have Maxine, I'm not sure, Viera?
Viera.
Viera,
Yes.
And I'm going to be very brief and
You have time though.
Oh, perfect. So yes, good afternoon. Is it afternoon or good morning? My name is Maxine Viera. I'm the program manager for the Alzheimer's Association. My territory covers both Laredo and the entire region. Be supporting that team member rather soon. With me, we have PV or Patricia Villaseñor Sandel. She is a program,
Development manager.
Development manager. She is all our agency, the work that we do, the kind of things that we do in the community, and very briefly on the research. I will want to say though, I ask for your support that if you have an opportunity to speak to your local representatives as well as your congressmen, that they support. There's before our Texas legislature right so that to deal with all things related with dementia individuals, care, support, resources, and also mandatory training. Right now, and obviously that benefits the families that are caring for somebody, whether you choose to place, and as well, and ultimately being able to push legislation before before Texas legislation before them, to also ask for an increase in education. To be increased to the 30 million. That is really a drop in the bucket compared to other states, but it's a huge improvement in the state of Texas, and hopefully that will benefit the family.
Oh, here. Keyboard. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Never mind. Maybe the space bar. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is.
As of today, we have over take care for somebody with the disease. That means that no matter what resources you have available to you, it could very easily bankrupt somebody, right? So it is a very costly disease because we're living a much longer and a better life. Because so when I hear you speak about the well-being and the better health of the caregivers, it really does bring it home to us, because we want to make sure that our caregivers are not burning out. They often neglect themselves and so on, and so the person, with the leaders in both research and care and support for our families, we're hoping Alzheimer's disease. We're not there yet, but hopefully that would be our conversations in the years to come. We have 2 medications that have been approved by the FDA at this point, but there in addition, there's 4 more drugs that are already in the pipeline to get approved by FDA, but because Medicare and Medicaid centers have decided not to pay for it, they're really on a standstill at this point. The VA, to those medications that have been approved for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. Again, early detection is very important. We want to make sure that those individuals that are eligible for that medication are maximizing the use of it, and that they're taking care of it in the early to moderate stage. Those individuals that are truly in the early detection spectrum. We are very pleased with having now solidified a partnership with the UT Education and Research Center that has become our home for education programs and support systems. And so maybe, and this, maximizing the care for our loved ones as we become more involved with them. Accelerating research. In July, we will have our International Alzheimer's Conference. And listening what's happening. It is also available virtual. If you have the funding, you can go to the Netherlands, which we would love to go, but we're not. We're not going. But I'm not bitter. Increasing concern and awareness. June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. If you want to go purple in support of the association, that would be tremendous. Increasing the revenue already happens with our walk. So we have a very successful walk here in Laredo. It has been a labor of position. Often when you hear the word dementia, many families will ask us, what is the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's? Well, dementia when it comes to it, right? Alzheimer's, unfortunately, is the one that is diagnosed the most frequently, and amongst Hispanics, because we have a 1.5 likely dementia, that it eventually becomes an Alzheimer's or a dual dementia for that.
Know why? Do they know why? Has research shown why Hispanics have?
Some of the risk factors that have been identified because anything that really affects the flow of oxygen to the brain increases the risk of a vascular. And unfortunately, along the border, we have been identified as one of the highest in the state of Texas to have the higher incidence of very telling. Foreign Americans say they would see a doctor right away if they knew what the symptoms were. But unfortunately, we have these conversations. I think right now we're facing the reluctance and the challenges that many So we're hoping that at some point we will be in a position where no matter your age, which already having a mental diagnosis or a cognitive evaluation insurances, it is covered for in older individuals through Medicare and Medicaid. Why not take advantage? But we still have the reluctance of having somebody go through that evaluation for we don't understand, maybe because they don't understand the disease. So it does make 5 years, it makes a huge difference in how promptly that individual already living in the throes of dementia, because something significant happened. They turned down, or something happened that really triggered the urgency to go get a diagnosis. Disease. Again, a little bit more. There's we understand. So having it's a Center for Medical in the removal of the plaques in the brain, it really eliminates the access and equitable African Americans, tribal, Asian Americans, Hispanics, and make sure that we have access to the medication. In DC, and we had a huge rally. Nobody got arrested. Please reconsider their decisions in regards to the medication. We have over 400,000 American or Texans living with the care. Like, yes, you may have the resources, or yes, you're doing. It's only for a few hours. How many of us choose to love or to keep our loved ones at home, or cover that care, right? And then there's so many things that people choose to self-deny because they're afraid. Conversations. And as a matter of fact, on May 27, we will have a forum in partnership with the UT Health Science Center out of San Antonio. To care and the resources already existing in the community to help the families and alleviate their burden, their financial burden. Kind of like I don't know where I'm at with time. We still have time. Further expand our reach in the communities that we currently serve, we're always asking for volunteers. I left a little card on the table just to see who would like. We have, if you would like to lead a support group or even participate as committee. For a caregiver conference in the fall, hopefully having our chief medical officer come down. That is still in the conversations, Dr. Carrillo. But if not, any local physician, any local resources to make sure that the family is aware of what already exists. It's 24/7. It is available at no cost to them. It is managed for someone and they finally fell asleep at 3 in the morning and you just want someone to listen to you. There is professional. To our chapter, you can always let them know, I would like to speak with the local chapter, and they will having that support system available. It is available in over 200 languages. So we don't want language to be a barrier as to why people don't choose to call the 800 number. If somebody says, hey, take this supplement over the counter, I am here to tell you, not because I'm the expert, but because we know that because there is no cure right now, no supplement that they sell to you, so it breaks my heart when I see families tell me, well, I bought this medication, it cost me $100, and we're like, oh, it's so disheartening because we will develop the disease in this room. We want to know, like, what is that ultimate trigger as to why we all. Yes, sir.
This is a personal question.
Yes, of
it affects me
course.
at home. My mother is Alzheimer's. We moved her from her home. So she's at my brother's house in Freer. Every weekend I go halfway, pick her up.
Yes.
Yes. And I told her this is the biggest no-no. But unfortunately, there's no help. We looked for help financially for her hometown. Outrageous. Really deplete our savings. It's like it's crazy. She needs 24-hour care. few seconds later, ¿quién eres tú, mijito?
Yes.
That's my mom. But there's no place except nursing homes. And that's where we're having issue. Do we put it there?
Places that we know of right now, for example, is Houston. Specifically for individuals with dementia. Some of them are sponsored by through another nonprofit.
Hey, have a home like that, just like dementia and Alzheimer's people. It's very different than being in a nursing home.
Yeah.
It would have to be somebody in the community who's willing to make the expense and be the champion and say, join the facility, to join that day program. I was recently invited to a and I'm very impressed with the fact that it's a state-sponsored facility. They only house about 20. Now it's like they have a purpose every morning to get up, they go places. Absolutely. And so we wish we were at that place here while we have other resources. It really does take a village to come together and provide all these resources for a health crisis that is only building up because there's
exhausted because on Saturdays I get up in the morning, I already have at school, I have our activities, and it's I can't do. And then 2 weeks later, I disassemble it all, give it back to her, doesn't remember, but it keeps her busy because she needs to have activities, like a sitter there.
Superior Health, when we were changing longer at home, which that was her preference, she talked about protective supervision. And I don't know if you have an opportunity to talk about that service with your audience, please. Provider hours, she had respite hours, and then the provider, the same provider, 30. So by 9 she would leave, and so that was protective hours, protective supervision. Get approved by the service.
Got Superior one?
Through Superior Health Plan, they advised me, but it's actually any provider that
qualify, and you can extend the hours depending on how much the doctor does approve, but protective hours meals is just monitoring.
Okay, it's on financial, she won't qualify, but she's a retired teacher, so her income apparently is high.
and maintain their financials and still qualify for state-sponsored programs. Yeah, you call me. I will definitely call you and invite you.
It's frustrating as a caregiver. Yes.
It is, and it's very challenging because you're I had no idea that protective supervision existed until I was advised about it, and I was like, that was a godsend for us. We have over 600 communities nationwide in WALK. Again, our WALK is November the
4th.
And then we were advised that there's a lot of things happening at the same time that we have our walks. So, but it is coming in the fall, and it would families come together and have a going through. So if you want to see how, if you have anybody living in any one of these facilities or any one of these locations, and the longest day is really on June 21st. That's the day they want to make sure that we do something in their honor. Again, how we can help, we can provide our helpline. And the many partnerships that we have with ARP, and we definitely partner with them nationwide to make sure that we're providing the resources to the community in a timely manner and based on, like you, if you would in absence and how we can support those efforts. While we have an opportunity to affect some change, there's other conversations obviously that are beyond our scope, but we can definitely make recommendations to leadership and whatnot. That is our founding father.
Maxine, do you
Yes.
want to share, remember when you did your presentation that I attended? The highest concentration was in
the Rio Grande Valley,
Yes.
and in the Rio Grande Valley has the highest concentration over any part. For every 2 people in the Rio Grande Valley is getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It starts at the vascular dementia that eventually develops. One of the challenges that it really is very disheartening is that we only have per se, but we don't have enough neurologists that are research facilities such as the UT Education and Research that have the capacity to do the early detection, or the Neuroscience Institute, for example, and through the and also because we have a very high incidence of dementia in the Rio Grande Valley along the border, pharmaceutical companies such as Eli Lilly, Biogen, they have facility for research in Stark County.
I just wanted to, not so much I wanted to acknowledge Dr. Chamberlain did join us. I know that you've partnered with the UT Research Center here at Laredo, but our doors are open as well to host any type of educational awareness campaigns, or just a place to join with the public and to provide that information. We're more than happy to partner.
Perfect. I really appreciate that because we're willing to do, we want to expand.
Yeah.
And and as the efforts of everybody education resources, we had the initial cycle come through. Hopefully there'll be another cycle at the end of the year, so definitely share. The Cameron County Health Department funded by the Alzheimer's Association with BOLD, and we're doing the education. To determine how they can utilize the existing resources to enhance education and early detection. I am available. I left you my business card on the table as well if you're willing to. Because again, we want to provide more services. This work, but we would definitely welcome any volunteer to our work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Excuse me.
announcements, and forgive me for not pointing out that Mr. Chamberlain came. The issue with the oxygen and the poison gas, etc. And do you know what?
It wasn't a discussion regarding ETO's issues as of the moment. It was a recognition by Councilmember Bettis of all the different partners that have come together to get us to that will reduce the emissions from any commercial sterilizer by 80%, which is pretty significant compared to the rule that we do have right now. Emissions that are very toxic. Some great because that is also the purpose of monitoring, so that it is blind and no organization can turn off their in conjunction with RISC, and that is also in conjunction with EPA. That will be coming very soon, but it was a recognition that just happened this past Monday. Our state partners haven't really jumped on board yet, but we're very hopeful that our state partners jump on board very soon.
The company was invited to attend and did not show up.
That's
they
correct.
sent a letter saying that regardless of what was happening, that they were within. So,
And that they continue to implement new strategies.
I do have an announcement, and I'm very excited. If I may. I have just shared an invitation to an event on Monday for a press. Funding that has been awarded to the city of disorder. This is direct funding from Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, through their ADAM network, which is a surveillance for autism and developmental disabilities. This is a nationwide. We become now one of 2 sites that were that the award expands to here in Texas. Austin will be doing surveillance in this. I know derived from the town halls, the feedback we got from the Autism Coalition, there was a lot of comments made of adequately allocate those resources and then show the need of additional services that may be needed in our community. And this is a grant opportunity. Christine and our budget team helped us write the grant application, and we're very and we're very excited. So I do ask you if you have a moment. Making the announcement that we were awarded this project. So yes.
You all did? Okay.
We were given a message of, a scheduled meeting to discuss the project. It stated award, accepted but not funded. or approved but not funded. So we're like, oh, what does that mean, right? Couple questions. He, inquired a little further with CDC and checked on our options. So March, we get notice of very calm and collected, and they tell us, you're awarded, and that there's a lot of work. You have to hit the ground running because we awarded some of the projects in January. So that we meet the deliverables within the time frame. So we're like, okay, yes, and as we definitely did have that reaction. It is, again,
It's amazing. I know, just yesterday.
You on the Adam Network, and you see the, and we are going to sites were awarded. But the fact that we're also going to be able to capture information on our young adults, our teens, is great to. Positions and Phil, it's going to be a team of about 5 to 6 individuals that are just going to help commission, working with ECI, just making sure that we capture and a full picture of incidents of autism spectrum disorder in our community. A suggestion, a recommendation derived from the community, and be able to keeping on with the momentum and the support from all levels. It's a very, very I did also wanted to share, if you wanted to say a couple words, we can talk afterwards, but I'm going to put you on the spot. To share just the great work that the committees have been doing. So, but Chambers, please join us. It would be great to see this was a group effort. When the committee was created, when BRC started, and all the projects.
Agreed.
I didn't study my report, and I'm so sorry. But FDA did announce ADHD medication is low stock. So they're low in stock, and they're hoping within the next 3 to 4 months they'll be back up. What do we do, Ms. Days? I am not the physician, I am not the pediatrician, I'm not the pediatric development doctor. So I am referring them back to speak to their doctors. But in the Holistic Avenue, we are providing them with at the health department to give them that toolkit. But again, we are just re-emphasizing that their pediatrician, pediatric development healthcare provider. When I first heard it, or when I first started seeing the stock of it, and then FDA finally announced it, or if you have any clients that are just concerned, FDA has already announced that restock will be within the next 3 to 4 months. Just connect with their pediatrician. They'll know what to do with the patient, but just to throw that out there and just information.
Thank you, Christine.
Awareness Month, and it is a chocolate covered Oreo, okay? So enjoy that.
I do want to also just, quick word. Thanks right now to City of Laredo. They have been working with one of my customers. Very bright, very smart. She is a registered nurse, and she ultimately educator, which even then, don't steal her away from me.
No promises.
She's absolutely wonderful.
I know,
She's
and
doing great work.
And believe me, you know, we're trying to give it our all with this customer. She's really excited, you know, learning the ropes, trying to get out of her shell.
That's awesome. And you know what, Martha, it's so good to know that it covers, you know, the contractor will cover the insurance rider. There's no risk. You just need a place for people to get. Glad to hear that.
Yes, I'm super
Good
excited
job.
with that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, happy to report. She's one of two location for their work experience, and both
But y'all
are
have
doing
always been.
great.
Yes, you have. Go way back, and you've always been very open to inclusion, and that's great that our community can depend on you.
Exactly. So we're tapping into, and I think what's unbelievable, like I'm just really excited. It's a registered nurse.
Yeah.
You know, like we've been hitting like all these job sites or
Yes, that's awesome.
It's a great benefit, not only for the participants.
Miss Dusty, hello. Hello.
Well, I wanted to add to that because I think if I could clone the health department
Oh.
across the city of Laredo and the
Yes.
website. It takes a lot to bring together a team that not only opens up doors but embraces wanting to thrive in a community of integrated employment. So I'm honored to be part of how, but it takes a village to raise them. And so
That's right.
This is an example of that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs.
So yes, and I just wanted to add, for staff, it's a great learning experience. It's eye-opening, and to me, it's always and thrive and feel empowered to contribute in a work environment. It's such a great moment. We make the most minute effect to
Thank you. Thank you. And then I sent Diana a text. If you can, if she can announce that.
A ver, Hillary, let me see. Oh, please announce. Oh. Monday, April 22nd, 10 to 12. Where is this going to be? Haynes Rec Center on April 22nd. Okay, I did.
Shared the flyer for the genetic conference for, I believe AHEC's taking the lead, but it's a
We're gonna
participating as well. So we're very excited for this, and I know we have also students program, so we're very excited for that.
So report on this one here for the, important that we please help get the word out. Be sure folks get that QR code and register. I had emailed it to the committee, but I said, you know what, let me bring a hard copy.
Sharing the invite to the press conference for Monday. I know we provided a hard copy, but we will be providing an electronic version. Out that we have this new resource in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you gonna post that to social media or no? Yep. To share in social media as well. I don't know if you
I
have.
think we have it
Yes.
programmed.
Okay.
Yes.
Very well.
Close for time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.